Hi guys, it is me Ada. Welcome to my channel. So in this episode, we are exercising, okay? We are playing basketball. We like to come out and, just throw the ball around, play some basketball, or soccer or take a walk. So it looks like today we have it divided up where some took a walk and some of us are playing basketball. So, because summer is coming and we got to get in shape, get this body bikini ready so we can look good in our, summer clothes, right? Yes, so if you are already subscribed to me, thank you very much for subscribing. If you are not, please hit that subscribe button and subscribe to me so that you can see my workout videos, all right? So, without further ado, let's, get to the story. Okay, I want to tell you guys a story about my dog, okay, because it looks like my girls that went for a walk, they came back with a dog, and we do not have a dog. So I'm gonna tell you the story. Okay, here comes the dog now, right? So this is not our dog. This is most likely a neighbor's dog because the girls went for a walk in the neighborhood. They probably saw this dog running around the neighborhood, and they brought it so they can find out who owns it and return it to them. Okay, so we used to have a dog named Snowball. That's why they're so into dogs. His name was Snowball. We named him Snowball because he looked like a ball of snow. He was, white and just looked like a ball of snow. He was very small and petite. Was a mixture of terrier and poodle. So it's very cute. So yeah. So we lost Snowball. He was killed. The way he was killed is kind of, sad. We went on an outing one summer night, and we spent the night, I think, in LA. And when we came back the next morning, and we left everything for him. We left his food and water because it was hot. And there was the yard was pretty tight, so there was no way for him to really escape or leave the yard. So when we came back and didn't hear him, it was weird, so we assumed somebody must have taken him from the yard. And that was pretty upsetting because it's like, how can somebody be so bold as to enter our yard and take our dog? That was pretty upsetting. But in retrospect, it would have been nicer if that was what happened. Right? So this is what happened. Okay, we came back and we called him. Usually when we come back, he's barking and everything, so we know he's okay. But we came back, there was no barking. We didn't hear any sign of him. And then we entered the house, entered the yard, and still no sign of him. We called his name, no sign of him, no answer, right? And then we checked his food. His food was intact. His water was not touched. His food wasn't touched. Nothing was touched. And we looked around the yard, and there was no sign of where he could have escaped from. So it was pretty unsettling, to figure out what happened. So we waited the next morning. I called the dog pound to see if anyone turned him in because he had a chip. And if anyone turned him in, they would call us and say, hey, your dog is here. Nobody called, so we decided to go to the pound anyway just to verify for ourselves. And they gave us the same answer. Nobody turned him in. So then we came back, and my son and I, went looking around the yard because now it's daytime and we can see more clearly. So we looked around the yard. I went all the way to the back of the yard, and I saw a trail of ants to this, and I followed it to this thing that looked like a doll's head. So I bent over to see what that was. I was like, why are ants crawling to this doll head? So I bent over to look at it closely, and I saw teeth. And that's when I realized, oh my God, that's when my heart nearly jumped out of my heart. Out of my chest, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I was like, OMG. I automatically knew what happened because our neighbors had told us about coyotes, and we've sighted some coyotes in the neighborhood. So I knew what had happened to him. I knew that those coyotes must have eaten him. And, so all it was just a skull with teeth coming out of it, so my heart just jumped out of my chest. I made a pivot turn and went back towards my son because he was still looking around, looking for any signs of Snowball. So I went to him, and he could see my demeanor, so he started asking me what was wrong. Did you see something? Did you find him? So I just told him, we need to go back in the house because it looks like, Snowball is dead. He's not with us anymore. It looks like, he's like, why do you think that, So I had to kind of tell him in a nice way without showing it to him. I didn't want him to see it at all. So I just told him, we just need to, let's just go back in the house. And then I slowly, let him know why I thought he was dead. And then he started bawling, he started crying, because it was his dog. He found the dog and, he chose it and named it. So then we told his sisters, and of course they were crying too. It was really sad. And, I didn't want the kids to see it. And then later on we were looking around and saw his paws. We saw like 2 paws. So that was all that was left, was his skull and paws. So it was pretty, sad the way he died. Just the thought of those coyotes attacking him and what went down. And, they ate the whole of him except the skull and, the paws. Just the thought of it was really sickening. So yeah, the kids didn't get to see it. I let my husband know, and then when he came back, he buried the skull and the paws. So yes, that's why they are, they love dogs, and they always, get excited when we see dogs. So we're gonna find the neighbors who this dog belongs to and give it back to them. So yeah, that's my story about our dog. So if you enjoyed watching us, please give me a thumbs up, give my video a thumbs up, and subscribe to me so you can see more exercise videos, okay? All right. See you later.